Hey, Mike, what time is it, Mike?
It's time to talk, Curtis.
Leadership Trait Talk time.
Talking straight about leadership traits.
That's right. That's us here. Hey, welcome tonight to our podcast. We're here with a leader extraordinaire, Nikki Eliason.
Ta-da.
Nikki is, frankly, so I have to say, she's a colleague of ours.
Yes.
And I would have to say Nikki is definitely in my trusted colleague circle. And there are many times, right, where I will call Nikki and say I'm going to pull my hair out, and she helps listening ear. So tonight we have an interesting topic.
Yeah,
right?
Servant leadership.
A little bit about servant leadership,
But maybe a little twist on the topic.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting. We always try to give a different perspective, and we're always challenged with we read a lot and we learn a lot, but sometimes it doesn't always work out
when we go to apply it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, Nikki, we thought you could share a story.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing I've learned recently is that I'm a failure, and so that's always good to know.
That makes two of us.
Exactly.
Three of us, actually. Yeah.
And so but I really have always prided myself on being a servant leader. That's really kind of important. How do I help? How do I get everybody access to what they need? And I realized the other week we were given a pretty big challenge with needing something for the CFO of the company within 24 hours, and so it was something I really didn't know anything about. I was not the expert in, so all I could do was kind of hover over my team and are you okay? And are you okay?
Right.
And so
serve them
exactly.
You were serving the team.
And because we were working virtual, right? I started IMing them. What do you need? How can I help? What do you need? How can I help? What do you need? How can I help? And I realized I finally about an hour and a half of doing that. And you can imagine they're about to climb the freaking walls, right? I shut my computer and went for a walk because I realized that all I was doing in trying to serve them was transferring my anxiety to them.
Ah, yes.
Right? And what they really needed from me was to get out of their way.
Right.
But instead, I was trying to offer, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do this? And so they were spending their time answering me about, no, we don't need that. No, we don't need that.
Right.
No, we don't need that. Instead of working on the task at hand.
Right.
And it probably felt like micromanaging.
Yeah.
To the team members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the same thing.
Yeah. It had to. And,
especially in stressful times.
Yes.
Right.
You
So
want to show up and you want to help them.
What caused you to make the shift? Do you know, was it just a realization or?
Yeah, it's something that I've kind of been working on as a leader, is finding out kind of what my triggers are. And as I see myself begin to, you really have to be the calm one in most situations.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And sometimes I catch myself just, amping it up. Right. And so it was just a stop. Okay, I've got to quit amping it up.
Right.
And take a breath and reset because they need me to be the calm one, and I was not distributing that. And so it was taking that break, taking a moment, and I took about 20, but sometimes it only needs to be 1 or 2.
Sure,
you don't have to take 20 minutes and kind of revamping my thought process. And so I was able to go back after that, and I said, hey, I'm going to leave you guys alone. I will call you in the morning. The one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear your calendar for tomorrow so that you guys can spend the time. So any meetings they had with me, I canceled.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And decided that's the best thing I can do. And you know what? They delivered. And I mean, that was the beauty of it. And I realized too that sometimes we need to ask them what they need.
Yeah.
And if the answer is nothing, honor that.
Right.
And also recognize that if we're trying to do and help and be part of the team and integrate, sometimes what we cause them to miss or can cause them to miss is the beauty of the struggle that they need to learn.
Yeah.
And I was trying to, I was taking that back from them with all my craziness. And so I really had to take a breath,
Isn't it funny
That's
how
great.
your team emulates your energy?
Yes.
Sometimes. And you realize you're like, why is everybody so probably because of me.
Because I'm so
why don't I just help them out by, stepping away? And I've experienced the same thing, Nikki, how amazing the results can be. Mm-hmm. And you're like,
if we just get out of the way.
They don't need me.
Right. Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love that story. Yeah. That's a good example. And I think that, to your point, is servant leadership. When you realize, listen to what they told you. We don't need anything.
Yes.
Stepping away and serving them in that way instead of showing up and asking. Because that creates more stress. You know, you kind of get in a rhythm. What is it? In 20 minutes time, if you're head down and you're really concentrating, if your concentration's broken, it takes about 25, 30 minutes to come back.
Right.
Nikki keeps breaking my concentration.
Right. So was that uncomfortable for you to step away and trust that they were going to deliver the results?
Yes, I knew that they were capable, without a doubt.
Right.
It was, are they capable within the time constraints that they've been given?
Okay.
And that was, because it was a pretty unrealistic ask.
Yes.
And so,
Which we frequently have those
yes,
these days.
yes.
Really? No,
Lots of unrealistic.
never me.
Yeah.
But I just forget that if you step back and let them go, a lot of times they'll deliver. And they did call me halfway through the next day and said, we need some help, and can you look at this, and can you look at that? But it was when they're ready. They had already figured out their plan. They had put everything together.
Right.
And then they just needed some finishing guidance. But they didn't need me in the room with them holding their hands. And that was, a lesson to let go.
Yeah.
Really good
It
lesson.
was more
really
about
good.
your anxiety than it was
And that's a hard thing as a leader. I realized that I had made that situation about me
Right.
and how I was feeling.
Right.
Because your
rather than
boss
about
had
them.
asked for it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I know what he needs. Yeah.
Right. And we've
Exactly.
got that pressure
That's tough.
to deliver the result and perform, and yet we know that we're not going to be the ones to do it. So how can we step away and
Right. Really
Great.
good lesson learned.
Great
Yeah,
strategy.
yeah.
Excellent. I like that.
And I was thinking about another situation that I'd had, and you think that I would have learned the first time, but I didn't.
That's okay.
I was thinking about a totally different kind of avenue where I was doing some career counseling with someone, and they worked for me, and so it was time for promotion, and I was like, we can do this, and the person kept saying, I'm not sure that I want to do that. I'm not sure that I'm ready, and I kept saying, you're ready. And we moved them into that job, and they performed beautifully, but they've been miserable every single
Interesting.
day. And I realized that I wasn't where I thought I was serving them by getting them a promotion and stretching and growing and helping them do all these things.
Right.
I wasn't listening to, that's not what I want.
Right.
And so unfortunately I think they're pretty miserable because of that. And it's a really, that's something that I think we've got to do as servant leaders, is really listen and ask, what do you want? What do you need? How can I help you? Because when we force on them what we think we need, it's not normally
Right.
Or how
right
we
thing.
did it.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes we're like, hey, I survived. You'll be just fine.
Or what we think is best for them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a really good point. So as a servant leader, I think our overall summary here is you got to listen. And you got to listen with the intention to hear what they want, not what you want.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
And that's so difficult, especially in stressful situations or career planning. I mean, well, that's what's wrong with what I did. Are you saying it's wrong?
Right.
But, taking that step, sometimes people need a little more caution. And there may be a reason that we're not in tune with.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
great
really good.
points. Serve in a way that is truly servant to them and not
Yes.
your own, right, what you bring into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki, thank you so
Great.
much. That was great.
Thank you.
It was
Yeah.
really, really
Thank
good
you.
conversation.
It was good to be here.
Good
Thank you
stuff.
for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thanks for being
All right.
here.
Thanks, everybody. Remember,
Thanks.
you can tune in on our YouTube channel and see this live and in person. Well, not live and in person. Videoed and in person.
Yes.
And bloopers, by the way. That's a bonus.
Bloopers? We don't make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
We just walk in as failures. We don't make mistakes.
Please don't forward to the bloopers. At least listen to what we have to say.
Right.
And
If you like it, subscribe.
yeah,
Right.
please subscribe and let us know of any topics, thoughts, comments, anything. We're open to any feedback.
We'll have Nikki back to talk about other topics.
Yeah,
Other
absolutely.
failures.
That's right. Other failures.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Hey, Mike, what time is it, Mike?
It's time to talk, Curtis.
Talking leadership trade talk time. What is it we do here? I have no idea. We're going to fast forward where we can get Nikki's voice in.
No, I'm good. It's like actors who will watch their own movies.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
We get on this mic.
Yeah, we're good on
this mic. We get on this mic. Talking straight.
Talking straight about leadership trade. Okay, ready? See how smooth this goes?
I can't take this anymore, Nikki. I'm gonna shoot myself. I'm gonna quit.
Easy
That was
peasy.
Do you want to do another one?
Easy
We can do
peasy.
another comment.
That was easy.
We'll be finished by 10 hours.